How's everybody? Good. My name is Dennis Manalo. Are you all from St. Anne's? No. Anong parish ninyo? What parish are you with? San Mateo? St. Matthew? Saan yun? San Mateo? Obviously.
St. Andrew?
St. Anne? Dito? Okay, welcome. And everybody else, I think I know. You're all local. Yeah, you have all your brothers and sisters here together, and this is how we do our walk. We walk together in a journey, and we hope we could walk with you too, in our faith, the Lord. And together we become strong, versus just wandering by ourselves. Because God expects us to love Him, and there are many ways we can interpret love, right? So I'm just gonna go real quick, make sure I cover everything. Yeah. So above all, the guy talking to Father Jeffrey earlier, the third person in our married life, or even single life, another person would be the Lord. So with Him, anything is possible, but without Him, it's going to be a struggle. I can probably know that. So how do we do that? How do we love Him? What did Jesus say? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength, So to love God with, let's begin with the first one, with all your mind. How do we do that, right? With all your mind. With all your mind, for instance. How do we do that? How can we love God if we don't know Him? Diba? How can you love someone you don't even know the person? So how do we get to know God better? Bible study if you want. Basically, yes, study is one. Maybe like in this country alone, I think there are like 64 million Catholics in this. I'm sorry, 64 million in the United States alone. But we do not advertise it, but the Catholic Church is probably the biggest provider of feeding the hungry, of clothing the needy, hospitals. Before, during Jesus' time, were there any hospitals? Did Jesus say, find me the nearest hospital so I can heal the sick? No? But no. It was through the hospital, it was through the Catholic Church that the hospital came into being. It was through the Catholic Church that education was formed. The universities now, originally there weren't any schools. The schools were just relegated to the royalties, the monarchies. It was through the Catholic Church instituted. But anyway, all these things, and yet we hear from the world, all the things that are anti-Catholic, all the bad things. We hear about they would advertise, some of the priests that are not worthy of becoming priests anyway. So this is the reason why we are all together. And why are they here? Why are all they here? Because they love God. And if they love God, they love you too. That's why we're all here to support one another. So through the mind, by the mind, right? What do we say? With all your mind? Study. Bible study is one. Yeah. Just learn more about Him. The average life of expectancy of an American is maybe 77 years, 80 years. No. So when it's your time, maybe you'll come into contact with God face to face and say, well, how was your life? And then you might say, well, but I'm dead. Maybe you can tell me how am I? But everything is great, God. Then God will ask you, have you read any good books? Oh, I've read good books here and then, have you read my book? You might find yourself in an awkward moment there. No? Says, well, little bits and pieces here and there. Maybe from the church, bits and pieces there. That's about it. So what can you tell? What can you say, right? So it's really important to know more about Him as part of loving Him. And she's right. One thing is through study. You read more about Him, you learn more. In fact, the Word of God becomes your transformation, our transformation. Through study, we become transformed. It's not just words, but it's a part of our transformation of our life. Next one. What's the other one besides mine? With all your
Heart.
heart? Okay. With all your heart. How do we do that with all your heart? So we say we need to study, learn more about Him, right? Okay. So now we learn more about Him. How do we express that from our heart? What do we need to do? How about confession? Going to confession. Everybody's quiet. Is it hard to confess, maybe? Go to confession? How often do you go to confession? At least twice a year? Or maybe every 2 years? Once a month. And, yeah. As often as possible, no? And don't be afraid of going to confession. Why? What did the Lord say? Lord, how many times should we be forgiving?
70 times.
How many times should we be forgiving?
70 times.
Every time. Every time, no? We could be, I admit, right here, I'm a sinful person. And all of us here, none of us are holier than thou, no? We are all sinful, we are all broken. So the Lord knows about that. So I might say, well, I don't want to confess to that priest because he knows my voice. You're not an original. No, that's nothing. It doesn't matter. If you're not comfortable going to that priest, go to another priest. But it's important to keep the sacraments, confession, communion, and that's how you develop the relationship. And at the same time, your ongoing transformation comes into being as well. What else is there? With all your mind, with all your heart? With all your strength. Okay. With all your strength. We have, what do we have with us that we consider treasures? Besides our treasure, our money. What else do we have? We have our time, right? We have our time, our talent, no? Maybe it's acquired, no? But all these, we have to acknowledge, none of these would be possible without Him. All of these are borrowed, no? He actually gave it to us. These are the gifts that He has given us, no? So what do we do with our time, talent, treasure? Splurge on trying to be happy by ourselves?
Yes, share. How to share?
Share, because if you're just looking for pleasure, temporary, it's only temporary pleasure. No? If you're looking for happiness, it takes discipline. But it's hard, it's a hard sell, no, for the church. For the church, we'll say, if you want to be happy, there has to be discipline. What do followers of Jesus are called? What are they called? Disciples. Disciple, right? And with disciples comes with, being a disciple comes with discipline. So that's for to attain happiness. Pleasure is just temporary, but with going with God's way, there's sustainable happiness all the way to the end. So what else is there? With our strength, with our heart, with our mind. So we already. So how do we make all this possible? Is it really hard? You know, because God says, "Be holy, because I am holy." But we're all sinners too, diba? Is that, you know, being holy doesn't mean you have to be like Father Geoffrey or, you know, be a priest. You can follow, you know. All we need to do is first we gotta come together like this as a group, support ourselves in our walk together in our journey, and then the other thing is maybe the unforeseen, the ones we hardly hear about are the saints. If we look at the life of a saint, or if we, you know, learn a little bit about them, then we know what it means for a normal person, an ordinary person, how to walk the path to holiness. And it's not an easy path. Nobody says it's easy. And the saints are, mind you, they're not like saints with a halo right away. They were sinners too, like us. All kinds of sinners. So it's not impossible. So just to share with you a little bit, there's this priest, there's this lawyer, there's this doctor, and a little boy. They decided to take a Sunday afternoon flight around, and while on a small chartered plane, and then the plane developed engine trouble. And then it says, well, there's only, what do you say, doctor, lawyer, priest, little boy, 4. There's only 3 parachutes. There's 4 of you. So the doctor says, I heal so many people, you know, I'm very important, and jumped out. And the lawyer said, you know, people, lawyers are smart people. Wait, did I miss somebody? Lawyer? Doctor. I said the doctor, lawyer, right? The lawyer says, yeah, lawyers are very smart people. People need smart, the world needs smart people to jumped out, right? So that left the priest, and then the priest says, well, little boy, you know, I've led a long life, but you have a lot of life ahead of you. Go ahead, take my parachute. You know what the little boy says? No, Father, keep the parachute. The smart guy took my backpack. God bless you all.